Good morning and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Pulpit. This past weekend we had a great men's conference here in our church. We had about 50 guys that met together and just sang and enjoyed one another and heard some really good sermons. And they used the word agitate. And you know what? I love that word agitate. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about it this morning and how we get the scriptures and see if it doesn't come up in the scriptures for us. Our text today is 2 Timothy, first verse to chapter, 6th verse, says, "Therefore, I remind you to stir up the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands." Think about a bottle of medicine, a bottle of salad dressing, or anything. You have to shake it up in order to get the ingredients all mixed up together before you use it. Shake well before using is on the bottle. Why? Well, because the ingredients settle to the bottom. If the bottle was never shaken, the ingredients never mix and the product never works the way it should. Sometimes it has to be agitated before it becomes effective. The same thing can happen in our Christian life. Believers can settle, and we all do. Churches can settle, and they all do. Faith can settle. Sometimes that's sad but true. Sometimes God allows circumstances that agitate our spirit so that our faith begins moving once again. The Apostle Paul told Timothy to stir up the gift of God within him. That phrase means to fan the flame or awaken something that has grown quiet. Even since believers can drift into spiritual routine, we still attend church. We still know the truth, but the fire is not burning like it once did. Sometimes God agitates our hearts through conviction, circumstances, or preaching so we will wake up spiritually. You know, a seed must be broke open before it grows. Muscles must be strained before they become stronger. In the same way, God often uses agitation to grow our faith. Look at the early church in Acts 8, verse 1. Persecution scattered believers from Jerusalem. It was uncomfortable, it was disturbing, but that agitation caused the gospel to spread everywhere and eventually over the world. What looked like trouble became God's method for expansion. Throughout history, revivals often begin when people become disturbed about spiritual conditions. When believers become comfortable with sin, God stirs hearts again. When prayer disappears, God agitates hearts to pray again. When passions fade, God stirs hearts to seek Him again. Sometimes the reason you feel restless in your spirit is because God is shaking the bottle. He is stirring faith, conviction, and purpose once again. Agitation is not always something to avoid. Sometimes it's something to recognize as God's work. When God agitates your heart, don't resist it. Do not ignore it and respond to it. It may be the Holy Spirit stirring your faith back to life. Sometimes the greatest spiritual blessing is when God refuses to let us stay settled. Hope you enjoyed this little talk on agitation and getting our spirit shaken. And look forward to coming to our church services this Sunday morning. We're going to talk a little more about this same topic this Sunday morning out of Hebrews chapter 6. Hope you have a great day and a great week. As always, we love you here at Bloomingdale Baptist Church and want to see you soon.